Welcome to this video. Today I'm talking about the books that made me laugh and cry, laugh and wheeze and giggle and guffaw and all of the other words I don't know the meaning of when I encounter them in books and I never check. So today, as a part of Top 5 Wednesday, which is a group on Goodreads about like top 5 things every Wednesday with connection to books, this Wednesday, 21st of April, top 5 things are top 5 books that brought a smile to my face. Besides having this theme to film about, I also am reading currently one of the funniest books I've ever encountered in my life. And yes, I'm currently reading it, but I do want to talk about it as the first book, and then the next 4 books are the books that I already read. But this book that I'm reading is seriously, unexpectedly funny, and it's a classic, and I wasn't aware how funny it was, and I just wanna, if you maybe don't know, I wanna tell you that this is a phenomenal book. And yes, so I'm just gonna start with the list of books that seriously made me laugh. So not just made me smile or made my day, this seriously made me witch laugh at some of the parts. And yes, the first book I'm talking about that seriously is so funny, it made me laugh today at 6 a.m. I was half dead, in a half dead state, going to read before the day starts, and I was laughing out loud in a matter of minutes. And it is Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. Now, this book is a war book. World War II, we are following a soldier who does not want to do any more missions, he just wants to go home. As a war book, I did not, when I picked it up, expect it to be funny at all. I thought it was going to be dry and kind of cynical, about the bureaucracy and stuff like that, and it is in a way, but it's also such an absurd book. Every dialogue, every description has its own catch-22, and everything is so absurd, and I just cannot help but laughing. And I'm at the beginning of this book, so yeah, I still don't know what's waiting for me, but as soon as I started reading it, I realized that this is my type of book. I wrote on Goodreads, I think, that we're vibing at a cosmic level, and I do feel it. Besides being in a very, in a mood for watching war movies and war TV series and reading war books, I'm for the first time watching Band of Brothers. So reading Catch-22 is a great experience, especially because we get to see this absurd and also making fun of war side of things, which war isn't funny, but this book is. Catch-22 is the best. Now, I think the main reason why I'm laughing so hard at the book is because the conversations are just so absurd. I can't explain, but you'll have to read it because it doesn't make sense without the background knowledge. Because every chapter has some kind of background descriptions, details that introduces to you, and then there's a conversation or a description of someone, of some soldier, or one thing or the other, and it's so absurd and it's so funny, and it's like I die laughing every time I pick this book up. It's so great. Please, please read it. Okay, the next book on the list is the one book that I think I laughed most at or with when I was reading it. Usually my witch laugh, which my family calls my laughing, my type of laughing, a witch laugh, because I don't laugh like a normal person. When I'm watching movies and TV series, I laugh and wheeze and scream. I don't know how to call this, but my laugh is extraordinary, and it never happens when I'm reading books. It just happens when I'm watching movies or TV series. But this book, the next book on the list, is the one that made me almost cough out my lung, and it is Less by Andrew Greer. This book, I think it also won a Man Booker Prize or something, and Maggie Stiefvater also recommended it, and this is why I read it. And if you maybe read the book, I'm just gonna say the German lesson. The part with the German lesson is the one that I almost died. This book is a drama slash comedy, I would say. It's I think all of the books actually on this list are talking about really, serious subjects, but in a humorous way, which I adore. I don't like comedy just for the sake of comedy. I like when it covers a topic that's more like, real, but we all hide behind our pain, behind, laughter, which I love reading about. And so this is definitely one of those books. We are following this main guy whose name I forgot, and he was invited to the wedding of his ex-boyfriend, whom he still loves. So in order to avoid this wedding, he goes and takes the trip around the world, and hilarious things are happening to him. Just hilarious. The how and where he ends up is just it's gold. And this is a short book, so if you want some laughter in your life currently, Less by Andrew Greer is the book to go with. And then we have a book that I just recently finished. It was an unexpected read because I didn't think it would be that funny. When I started it, it was really freaking depressing, and I almost DNF'd it because I was like, no, I cannot stand this right now. But I'm glad I pushed forward and I finished The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. Another book, we could say an allegory about people, society. It's very depressing, it's very bureaucratic, it's very 1984 kind of not at all actually, but kind of is. But it's also very funny. I giggled and I laughed and I smiled, and it just warmed my heart. This book, a lot of people says they warm your heart. The book, not the people, maybe the people, but the book warms your heart, and I totally agree. In this book, we're just following two guys and a magical orphanage and falling in love and, you know, social commentary kind of. It's a fun time. It's not a deep book, but it is funny. So yes, I do recommend it. And next up we have one of the books that I also finished this year. It's a bit longer than the rest. It has like around 1,000 pages, and it's magical realism, and it's Napoleonic Wars. It's about two magicians. Yes, it's Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell with Suzanne Clark. This book is very dry and humorous and sarcastic, not ironic, cynical. It's got that British humor, you know, the one you usually encounter in British movies and TV series. I think UK has a very distinct humor than America, and I prefer actually British humor. And Jonathan Strange and Mr. Noel is really subtle and, as I said, dry. So you really have to pay attention to the humor. But if you get it, it's really funny. I didn't laugh at this book, but I did smile, and it did make me happy. But it is a longer book and it's very dry, so you will have to make yourself actively search for the funny parts. Whereas other books I think on this list are more just like you lay back and you just swipe your eyes over the pages and the humor will hit you over the head. So but Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, real quickly, is about two magicians on the opposing sides in the Napoleonic Wars. And they're both English. They're not like French and English, which I thought they were gonna be before I entered the book. But yeah, they're both English and they're both magicians, and they both want to return the English magic into the world, into England. But they don't agree about some things about how it should be done. And it's in the Napoleonic Wars era. That's all I'm gonna say. It's very interesting. There's a lot of characters, not just the two of them, but many others. There's fairies, very magically, realistically magical. And lastly, we have a book that not a lot of people has read, at least from the people that I know. And this is one of the, I think this is actually the longest book on this list. It has like 2,000 something pages maybe. Bear with me, okay? I binged read this book until I finished it. It was so freaking funny. I don't know what. It is science slash humor. I will tell you what the book is. It's Harry Potter and the Methods of Rationality. I'm trying to think of a way how to introduce this book to be like very, you know, flashy, but I can't think of any. This book is just great. If you're bored of Harry Potter, of rereading Harry Potter, please give this book a chance. It's about Harry Potter if he were a scientist and if he came to Hogwarts and just weighed and experimented every aspect of a magical world there. He was just like question everything, and also he's kind of antichrist, kind of, you know, a dark person. So we have a lot of dark things happening in this book as well, and they're interwoven with the funny parts, and the funny parts are really funny and the dark parts are really dark. So they really complement each other. I had the biggest hangover after reading it, and I adored how Harry Potter was portrayed in this, like a darker character who is not completely morally on the good side. He questions everything. He's a scientist, basically. He made friends with Hermione, he made friends with Draco, he didn't make friends with Ron, which was, we got to see this other trio and how Hermione and Draco also wanted to learn science from Harry. We just see so much in these 2,000 and something pages, which I binge read because I couldn't stop myself. It was so good. This book is just phenomenal. And if you think that it's gonna be hard because it's called Harry Potter and the Methods of Rationality, yes, there's some science in there, and I think it's very nicely interwoven in the story and explained really well. I was kind of scared that I wouldn't get the book because I thought it was just kind of the height of the heights of I don't know what. It's not. There's science, real science. The guy who wrote it, Eliezer Yudkowsky, also is a scientist, and I think he made it really approachable for everyone. I enjoyed this book so much. 5 out of 5. I don't know what else to say. Cried, laughed, both at the same time. I do recommend this book. So yes, if you have any books that made you really laugh out loud while reading it, please leave your recommendation in the comment section down below. And thank you so much for sticking with this video. I hope it helped. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!